Good morning. How y'all doing? Y'all good? I'm tickled. I'm tired too. I think the dream got me drained out today. I'm so tired. I ain't got no energy. Like none at all. Yeah. Trying to braid my hair. God told me to do it myself. I want to go to the shop. I'd rather pay somebody. God said, if you don't get in there and do your hair yourself. So I'm doing my hair myself, y'all. Yeah. I did my eyelashes too. He said, do that too. I'm like, dang. I had to do individuals. Yeah. So I'm just speaking saying, hey to y'all. Y'all good? Okay. I'm trying to see what's going on. Is there anything to talk about? Today, the dream's not gonna stop, y'all. If God is the living word, it's going to continue on. It's never ending. It's never ending. So I don't know how y'all vision dreams and stuff be. Mine is different. When I say vision dream, I don't even really think it's vision dream. I just think I relate closely saying it's a vision dream. I don't think it's vision dream. I think it's on a way higher dimensional level than just a regular vision dream. But I use vision dreams because my mind, that's how I'm processing. Because I know one time, I think I was talking to one of my daughters. So one time I was talking to one of my daughters, and she was like, have you ever came out your body? Like, do you have out of body experience? And God said he ain't gonna never let me look and see my body. So some of these vision dreams I be speaking on vaguely, it's probably an out of body experience. I would never know because God gonna hide that from me. God said I would never, you know how people, they look and be like, ooh, I look and saw my body. God said I would never have that experience, never. So he just give me everything in the form of vision dreams. Like this is how God do me. He said I would go into a state of shock if I knew that I was actually having an out of body experience. He said it'll cause me to go into shock. So he'll never let me go into an out of body experience. Did what God told me. Now everybody did what he told me though. Y'all know God meet y'all on individual levels, right? So what go on for one person, it's gonna be different for another person. When I was reading in Exodus, and what God was telling me, dealing with Exodus, where I was reading about Moses, Exodus, the people, the golden calf, where I said we at now, the bickering, complaining, the children of Israel that just always complain, like they were never happy. And that's a whole book of Exodus. So I know Moses, the frustration of trying to just do what he got to do and dealing with people that just bickering and complaining all the time. I don't want to hear no complaining. Like, that's a pet peeve of mine, really. Like, do not come around me complaining. Because I sit there and I play the game. And when I get through complaining, you really going to hate you even came and approach me. I'm going to flip it real fast. You come this way complaining. Like, we all ain't dealing with, like, life ain't lifing for us out here. Like, you think you gonna dump your problems on me? Oh, no, that ain't even finna go on at all. That ain't finna go on at all. People think they finna dump their problems on me and just bounce. I don't know. Because by the time you come this way, it's finna be flipped. It's finna be uno reverse. That's what finna go on. You come this way with that. Don't bring no negativity, no. And if people be ready to do, like, That's why I keep my circle small. That's why I keep my circle small. So, and then people liability. That's another reason why I keep my circle small. So you think, now the Bible do say forgive 70 times 7. And I will forgive you 70 times 7. But in this process, it ain't going to even get to 70 times 7 because I'm going to learn my lesson the first time. Like I'm going to learn my lesson the first time dealing with you. And then it ain't going to even be 70 times 7. But if I allow myself to be open to get hurt 70 times 7, you will be forgiven every 70 times 7 times that you cross me. But the thing is, you're not even finna get to number 2. You're not even finna cross me times 2 out here. It's going to be one time you're going to be forgiven. I see you a liability. You cannot be around me. That's how I move out here. Once I see you a liability, what I got you around me for? To bring me down. And I'm trying to, and I'm dealing with the struggles of life myself. Like, what I look like just got everybody, for one, dumping their problems on me. Feeling like they could dump their problems on me. Like I ain't got my own problems to deal with out here. And then you feel like you gonna cross me, which you can do that, but 9 times out of 10, assets gonna be terminated behind it. Like you call me assets terminated because you a liability to me. Like I'm not taking no losses. Like Satan not finna jump on you so you can attack me, and then I take a loss in this process. Like, see, that's not what's gonna go on. See, I might take one loss in this process. You will be forgiven. All is forgiven. No debt. You know what forgiving mean, right? All debt crossed out. No debt. You ain't got no debt. Like I ain't obligating you to no debt in this process. I'm removing all debt because I want God to remove the debt attached to me. So all debt is forgiven. But in this process, you think you finna be around me and you a liability? Like, is that what you really think finna really go on? Like, you think I'm finna take losses just for having you around me? Oh no, that ain't finna go on in this process of life. Like, I'm not taking no losses due to other people. I take losses due to me and the life God got for me. But for me choosing to allow people to be in my life, I gotta take a loss behind it. Oh no, ain't no losses going on. No more losses. In 2026, on up, no more losses for me. Not due to other people. Now, if life just lifing, then okay. But if my loss is due to somebody else, that's a liability. I don't know. I'm weeding out the weakest. I'm weeding out the weakest link. Yeah. So that's what's going on with that. I don't know what people think it is, but that was, you is forgiving. Like, I promise you, like, I don't have no hard feeling for nobody. But if you feel like, what? Like, because you are forgiven, access granted? Access terminated. You is forgiven, access is terminated. Till God tell me otherwise. Till God himself come tell me. Now, if God himself come tell me, then okay, that's different. But if God don't tell me differently, then that's what it's going to be. Access terminated. Access denied. That's what it's going to be. Because when I'm opening up, like when you accept people, you got to accept their demons too. You do know that, right? So when you choose to help people and you choose to accept people, you are also choosing their demons. So if them demons is something that you want to take on, while you on your journey dealing with your own demons out here, you want to take on other people's demons too? You know, because that will come with it. If you deal with people, you also got to deal with their demons. So I choose not to deal with other people's demons. I feel like them ain't my demons. I ain't choosing it. I ain't opening myself up to that. I'm trying to keep myself away from that. But because I choose to deal with this person, and Satan think he's slick, so he attach himself to familiar spirits, loved ones. I call familiar spirit loved ones. So in this process of how Satan move, he attach, well, the demons, they attach themselves to loved ones to attack you in this process, in this spiritual process. Once you figure out the game, once you figure out the spiritual game, it's real easy. Like, it's real easy to move out here. No issues, no problems, no trouble. Like, life get a whole lot lighter. Life get a whole lot lighter once you realize the spiritual battle and how it's in your favor to win. The battle has already been won. So once you realize that, life is easy. But once you start taking on all this stuff that was never part of your life, part of your battle, part of your fight, part of your struggle, once you choose to take on other people's struggles, then you're going to have it hard. Because God didn't even design you to pick up that weight. They want your battle to fight, but you want to jump in and fight. And you ain't designed to fight that fight. God designed them to fight that fight, not you. But if you feel like I'm going to help you and I'm going to make it better for you, you finna fall too in this process. Because you getting in the way. Get out God's way. Get out God's way out here. So you see somebody, you see what they going through. God will put on, you got to have discernment. Because certain people, God be like, yeah, help them. But certain people, You got to pass the test. Just like I had to pass the test of life to get to the next level, you too will have to pass the test of life to get to the next level. Can't nobody do it for you. You can't find somebody who a good person and then try to dump your problems on them like they gonna solve your problem for you. Like, it don't even work like that. Because they gonna probably you're gonna be a liability to them in this process if they do step outside of the elements that God got them in. So I'm dealing with my battles, my fight, my struggles all day, every day. And then I involve myself with you as a person. So now your battles, your struggles become my battles. We gotta be married for that. Don't try to take on somebody's battle when God said we are one. I can't see myself just randomly I'm dealing with my own battles, my own struggles. You got your own demons. And then because we connected some kind of way, regardless of his friend or whatever or however, then your demons become a part of my life. I keep my circle small. Cause that's how demons move. So your demons not finna be my demons. You ain't finna try to dump your demons on me. Yeah, cause you ain't trying to change your ways. You want the deliverance, but you ain't trying to change your way from your deliverance. This is what God taking me. You want to be healed, but you don't want to go through the work that you need to be fully healed. You just want it quick. Okay, you healed. Okay, let me find somebody a God. Like, yo, people be really out here looking, praying, P-R-E-Y, on people of God so that they can get some kind of relief from their distress out here. You know, I read that book about when the demons leave. Remember, I read that book about when the spirit leave. I'm finna pull it up because God tell me to pull it up. And he telling me some more stuff dealing with this stuff. So I'm finna pull up this about when the spirits leave. So now I'm on Matthew 12:43. I'm on Matthew 12:43. It say when an unclean spirit returns. And I'm finna break this down. When an unclean spirit returns. Because it's spiritual. So it's interdimensional. So it's on so many different levels. This is the living word, y'all. So, like when I read, I ain't trying to get too far off subject. Like when I was reading about Exodus, it was popping out. Like the words were popping out in me. So now I'm like, Trump is going to become the golden calf. I had a dream about this. I'm going to speak on my dream after I read this, though, because it's popping back up. But I said, Trump is going to become the golden calf. He's going to be what they worship. They're going to get him all that gold and create this idol. It was popping out like that. Like, that's the revelation. It was a lot popping out when I was reading that Moses, though, honestly. So, I spoke on a little bit, and then I had to go back and put in there, Trump going to be the golden calf. And it's going to create conflict with God. You know, people, they don't realize when people get out of alignment with God. So they so stuck on being in alignment that you can't even see that when they actually shifting out of alignment. Just like Saul. Remember Saul that kept trying to kill David? He was in alignment with God. God handpicked Saul. But due to the people, just like with the book of Moses, due to the people, they wanted him to do something. It was outside of what God said. He was out of alignment with God. And at that point, God just cut him off completely. It wasn't nothing he could do to get back in alignment with God. God just cut Saul off completely at that point for his disobedience because he was listen to the people. You know, Aaron, the brother, would listen to the people and end up building the golden calf instead of standing and standing in authority against the people. He fell victim to the people. Saul did the same thing. So, I'm going to read this right here, though. It says, unclean spirit returns. It says, when an unclean spirit goes out of a man, he goes through dry places seeking rest and finds none. Then he says, I will return to my house from which I came. And when he comes, he finds it empty, swept, and put in order. Then he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter and dwell there. And the last state of the man is worse than the first. So shall it also be with this wicked generation. So, when I read this, it's just saying like when an unclean spirit goes out of a man, when it leaves from a man, it's looking for another place to live. Like, it's looking for a home. It's searching the dry places, trying to find rest. So it's in distress. So while it's in you, it has a sense of peace within you. Even though it's turning you up in this process, it's a sense of peace there. But it's seeking rest now because it has no rest. So when you deal with a spirit and it leaves out of a man, that spirit is seeking rest. It ain't going to find it because it's a distressed spirit. When it leaves you, it's distress. So it's going in and out the earth trying to find rest. And then it said it's going to come back. It say, then he says, I will return to my house from which I came. And when he comes, he find it empty, swept, and put in order. So when you deal with a spirit that has been removed from you, you're going to see the fruits of that spirit leaving from you. Like, you're going to see it. It's going to be clean. It's going to be empty. It's going to be swept. It's going to be in order. You're going to be seeing yourself. You're going to be seeing yourself doing a whole lot of positive stuff. You know, like, you know, you getting it? Then he goes and takes with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself. And they enter and dwell there. And the last state of the man is worse than the first. So, when he come back, because you have overcame him, because you was able to conquer him, he's going to bring 7 more spirits more wicked than himself. He's going to make sure there's no way you can conquer him this time like you did the first time. So he's coming with 7 more spirits more wicked than him, because it's going to be hard for you to get this monkey off your back. It's going to be hard the second time around now. It's going to get harder and harder each time. First time might be a little easy. Like, you probably got lucky with the first time. But the second time, the spirit see that how weak it really is. And so spirits, they have to gang and team up. Because God automatically gave us dominion over them. So we automatically got the advantage. So what they do is you have demons come together. Like, they have to pack up to be able to conquer and overtake us. Sometimes one spirit can't do it. They're going to need a legion of demons. Remember, you read Legion in the Bible with that man? It was a legion of them. Yeah. So demons, in order for them to actually possess and take over and don't get to the point where they're seeking rest. Because they trying to find rest too out here. It's he's seeking rest and finds none. So when the spirit's on you, they got rest on you. They got a sense of peace on you, even though they going to tear everything up in this process. But them just dwelling in you and not just being a wanderer, just wandering the earth with no body. Like, yeah. So them, they need a body. Yeah. Because I'm thinking that, y'all. Yeah, I'm thinking, and you know how they talk about the deception. They talk about Satan's deception. So, you know, Satan, you know, he deceived the angels at a certain point, and they all fell with him. It was a certain deception that went on. He deceived man. I'm trying to think on how to say this. But I don't think, I'm not gonna necessarily say it was deception. I know deception with man. We were deceived in this whole process, but God got other creations, and Satan has came into agreement with these other creations, so to speak. Now, we were deceived, so God, he getting us grace. God like, okay, I send my son, y'all can be redeemed in this process. But when you deal with the angels, they cannot be redeemed. Like, it's no savior to save them. Like, their judgment and their decision is locked. We humans, we can be redeemed. He gonna keep forgiving us and forgiving us and forgiving us. We got grace. They don't have no grace. So it's a lot of jealousy and stuff with that. So when I deal with this right here, the unclean spirit, and thinking of the demons, and I think I heard this somewhere, but Satan promised them a body. So Satan was like, if you work for me, you can get a body. Which they had bodies before they died, before the flood. And then once they died, once God sent the flood, they were disembodied. So them, they working for the kingdom of Satan, and they doing it for a body. They need bodies. They just want bodies. They just obsessed with bodies. Because of what they had when they had the body, and they took the glory from God, and they was worshiped as a God themselves while they was in these bodies that God ended up destroying. You can't take the glory from God. So when I look at this right here, and I look at demons, and I look at Satan promising them a body, and everything you see going on is because Satan promised them a body that Satan himself ain't even got. But he promised them bodies, which is a twisted truth, because if they overtake you, they got your body. Let me stop, y'all. Let me stop with this. Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot with a lot, because you're dealing with all these different types of creation. But I know with demons, they was promised a body. And so, even though Satan himself don't have a body, he done promised them our bodies. But it's ways to seal off Satan and seal it off where Satan don't have legal right to your body, because through sin and other things, it's a legality, and you create this open door. And so then at that point, Satan is using this legality to gain access to your and ownership to your bodies. I ain't trying to get too deep into this. You see what I'm saying? So I know with the demons, they want a body. They obsessed with body. They got to have a body. Like, it's just like, I need the body. They obsessed with it. They don't want to be disembodied floating around and don't have no place, don't have no rest, don't have nowhere to go. All the stress. They trying to stabilize themselves. So when they get bodies, they stabilize themselves, so to speak. So when I read this right here, it say that when he goes and takes with him 7 more spirits more wicked than himself, they enter and dwell there. And the last state of the man is worse than the first. So they're going to make sure they conquer. Like, they're going to make sure I'm not losing this body, because they already went through the loss of a body. And then you kick them out of a little bit of what they had, a little taste of what they had. So what they going to do, they're going to double up, triple up, and they're going to make sure you can't uproot them as easily as you did the first time. Like, they're going to make sure that. You best believe that right there. So it say the state of the man is worse than the first. And so when I look at this right here, it say, and so shall it be with this wicked generation. So when I read this right here, because I think it's like John Conn, he was speaking on this. It say, when an unclean spirit go out of a man, he go through dry places seeking rest and finds none. Then he says, I will return to my house from which I came, and when he comes, he find it empty, swept, and put in order. Then he goes and take with him 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they dwell there in the state of the land. The state of the man is worse than the first. Okay, when he speak on it, because he deal with nations, he speaks on you being clean, like your nation being clean and uprooted, and you getting all the evil out. So once you get all the evil out, the spirits, they trying to find a home. Even when it comes to principalities over nations and stuff like that. So with us, America, we like a Christian nation. So with us being rooted on Christianity and us being the foundation of Christianity, because he breaks it down. He breaks it down on a level as far as our nation. So when it say it's clean, it's empty, it's swept and put in order. But when it's empty, that means you ain't got the spirit of God living there. So even though it's empty, you haven't filled it with God. So even though it's the bad been removed, you haven't filled it with the good, so to speak. And so it makes you even more vulnerable, so to speak. So America, God had uprooted us. God separated us. God got us in a space where he cleaned us up, but we never filled ourselves with him in this process. So it make us very vulnerable, very weak for attack, and to take over, to conquer at this point. It makes you weaker to take over and conquer. If a spirit is in you and that spirit been removed from you, and you don't do the proper steps to fill your house so that it can't come back, and you leave this empty house open, so to speak, it's going to bring with it 7 more spirits and attacks. So with America, I think that we cleaned ourselves up. Like, we just uprooted all this bad. But what happened was we didn't put the steps in to protect our home. We didn't put the steps in to protect America. And so what ended up happening is that the spirit and the spiritual, it was 7 more spirits that ended up attaching itself to America. And the state of this country is actually worse than the first, if that makes sense. Because we did everything, because we a Christian nation now. You got to realize that. You got to realize our foundation is Christianity. Shoot, God take me to Exodus. God take me to Exodus with this. Because when I talk about this unclean spirit, y'all, it deal with like our nation being like clean and God cleaning us up. But then the spirits that were removed from us, it came back 7 times worse than before, if that makes sense. Do that make sense? I'm going to have to find John Conn because he breaks that down way better. Because in my mind, God is taking me to Exodus. And with Exodus, what God is saying then with Exodus is, God take me to Exodus, but it's in relation to this too. Okay, so, dang, I'm just rambling on. Okay, y'all. So when it's talk about nation-wise, you gotta realize America was clean, but we empty. So we clean, but we empty. Like we clean, we got all the bad removed, but we didn't put in God's word back into our country. Like we removed the Bibles out the school, we removed prayer from work, we did all this stuff, and even though we're clean, we empty. So that means that this country was open for, it was just open for attack. It's open for attack at this point. And so the spirits that left originally, it then brought back 7 more spirits more wicked than itself. And we trying to remove these spirits on the spiritual level. We're trying to remove the wickedness, the spirits that have entered into this country, so to speak. But these spirits are more wicked than before, so it's gonna be harder to get this out. It's gonna be harder to get this out because once we was clean and we removed all the bad, we didn't put the word of God back into us. And this even speaks on like relationship. Okay, say relationship. So when you deal with relationship, y'all, and you get rid of something, just like get rid of a person, and your life gets so much better. Like everything get better when this person leaves. Like you could do so much more while this person there. But what that person do is when that person separate from you, because I use for a relationship, when that person separate from you, they go out in the world, and so they distressed. They don't get no rest. So since they ain't getting no rest, they think in their mind, I'm going to come back. I'm going to go back to that person. So even though they not trying to fix themselves up and do better for themselves, they only getting with you because of the distressing spirit on them. They only want rest. And no matter how bad they treat you, how they dog you out, you still are a sense of rest and peace for them. Like, you still there for them. Like, spiritually, you just this form of peace and rest for them. So, what they do is they come back more wicked than before. So, a lot of times you in a relationship with somebody, and they leave, y'all break up, and y'all get back together. It get harder and harder and harder to get out those relationships because the wickedness on that person it's going to be more wicked because you done got conquered it the first time. But now it's reaching out to other spirits more wicked than itself so that they can make sure they don't get, like, taken out the second time. Like, that's what they plan on doing. So it's very dangerous when you break up with a person, you get back with them, you break up, get back, break up, get back. Because they're calling on so many more spirits. And it get harder and harder for you to get out these relationships, so to speak. Do that make sense? So when this person left, your house is empty. So you didn't fill it with God. You didn't fill it with the Holy Spirit. You didn't properly fill your house, fill your home. So your home is empty. So even though it's clean, everything in order, everything looking better, it's still open for something to come in and possess and take the land, so to speak. Do that make sense? So you still open for this person to pop back in the picture and pop back in your life because you still empty. You see, you clean, but you empty. So this person, when they come back, they're trying to fill this void. They're trying to fill the void, so to speak. So because you're empty, They coming to fill a void because you didn't properly fill yourself with God to fill yourself of the void so it cannot come back. So the person coming back with 7 spirits more wicked than itself, but you in your mind, you're deceived. It's a form of deception because you thinking you getting the same person. You getting this person 7 times worse than it was before. Because this person has actually invited 7 more demons more wicked than itself. And all it want is peace. So it's going to tear your life up for this peace it's trying to obtain. It's not going to obtain the peace. So your life going to get tore up in this process of them seeking this kind of peace that they would never find. And you, because you was empty and swept and put in order, but you didn't fill yourself with God and with the word of God and with Jesus, like you didn't fill yourself up spiritually, you are open spiritually for attack at that point. Even with relationships, like even when you end a relationship, you have to feel that emptiness some kind of way. Or that spirit is going to be trying to come back to that empty house. And it's going to tear that house up once it get a chance. So when I see an unclean spirit returns, that apply to everything. It don't matter what and who it is. If you didn't have any kind of relationship with somebody, any kind of friendship, anything with somebody, when they come, it's going to be 7 times more wicked than before. I'm sticking to it. It's going to be 7 times more wicked than before. Whatever you went through, it's going to be 7 times worse than what you went through before you even went through it. It's no way you're going to tell me it's better. So when these people come back, they're going to think it's empty and swept and put in order. So you have to feel that. So when they come back, they see that it's no room for them. It's nowhere that they can go. They cannot come back to your house because you have filled your house with God. You have filled your house with the Spirit of God. You have filled your house with oil. Your oil is overflowing. It has nowhere to go. So that spirit cannot return at that point. So you have to spiritually fill yourself so that the spirit don't see a place where it can rest within you. Like that's the solution to the problem. But if you think you got rid of that spirit and you got this illusion that everything is better, but your house still empty, you are in a very dangerous and very bad situation with everything on the outside looking good, looking better, but the inside still empty. Because when these spirits come back, and they will come back, they come back 7 times more wicked than before to attack you and bring you down in this process. These demons is on a mission out here. They come to bring you down, to kill, steal, destroy. That's a whole agenda. So once you realize what the spiritual is, it's an easy battle. That's why they got to double up, team up. That's why it got to be 7 times more wicked. Because God gave us dominion already over it. But when they double up, triple up, and then they hide within each other, it's kind of hard to find them, so to speak. But you got the advantage. You got home court advantage automatically. That's why they come the way they come. If that makes sense. That's why they come how they come. But God already got you advantage, home court advantage. Everybody know you got advantage but you. So once you realize you got the advantage and you walking your authority out here, even when Jesus cast out that man, he said, we is legion. They ain't have no power. Even with all them spirits that was in that man, they still was weak to the power of Jesus. All them teamed up together. So even with you, you might have a legion. It don't compare to the power of Jesus. And they double up and triple up because they know the power of Jesus. And even then, they still the weakest link in this whole equation if you walk in your full authority that God has given you. So I look at this right here. I look at unclean spirit returns. I look at America and how the unclean spirit has returned. The unclean spirit has returned. It brought 7 more spirits more wicked than itself in this process. And us, because we was clean on the outside and we didn't put God into the foundation of our country like it once was, we open ourselves up for these spirits to enter into our country. And now it's going to be like hell on earth trying to remove spirits, these 7 spirits that are more wicked than itself in this process. So it's a battle. Like we finna deal with a lot trying to uproot these spirits that don't want to leave because they won't rest. Like they find rest here in America. So they not trying to go back out that way and be dealing with and roaming around. They like it here. And us, because we have opened the door because we did not fill ourselves with God, with the Spirit. We did not walk in the ways of God. We did not do none of that. So we allowed ourselves to be open for attack, if that makes sense. So that's what I see when I see America. I just see America like, okay, we was clean, but we didn't put God in nothing going on. We actually removed God, which made us very weak and very vulnerable for spiritual attack and the wickedness of what's going on. It said the spirit going to be more wicked than before. So America going to be more wicked than before. And when Jesus at the end of that, he said, so it is so with this wicked generation. So when you look at the generations, and you look and you see them pulling God out of everything going on, you're going to finally have the end result of a wicked generation. Once you finally keep uprooting God, uprooting this, uprooting the Bibles in the school. Now you at the point where you see the wickedness of the generation. Now you see the mass shooting in the schools. Now you see all this stuff going on. But because they were slowly uprooting God out the picture. And so now you finna see the final result of that. Do that make sense? Okay, y'all. So I'm finna ready to let y'all go. Because God, you had me rambling about that. I'm trying to get my words, my thoughts together. I'm really tired. Okay, today I had a dream. And in the dream, I was speaking on my Exodus video in the vision. So in the vision, I got my phone and I'm playing the video, the Exodus video with Moses and the golden statue. I'm playing this video in the dream. It was nothing to cut this video off in my vision. So in the vision, I got my phone and it's playing loud. Like, it's loud. So in the vision, I'm speaking. The whole video was just playing in this vision. And I'm trying to, like, swipe my phone to cut it off. Even when I swipe my phone, that video will not stop playing none in the spiritual. Like, it played, like, non-stop. This video was playing. And so I was like, how the video playing and the phone not even on? Like, the phone screen to be black, but you still can hear my video. And then I think I went to, like, a different page. And then that video was playing. Like, it wasn't nothing to cut that video off. And so in the middle of me with this phone and this video was speaking on this Exodus, this Moses. I told you the Great Migration. Like, everything in that video is playing in this vision, which is high alert. Like, that means that ding, 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 ding. That means significant. So that video that you saw that me do, and I was just randomly talking about stuff, because God, this is how God do me. God randomly talk about stuff and he drift me here, drift me there. Like, I don't think I ever do a 2-minute video. Now I will break the video down and set it off in 2-minute intervals, but God would never come to me with 2 minutes of my time and say, okay, Shayna, go. God ain't never kind like that. So when I come and I sit down and I talk and I chop it up, I'm expected to, okay, God, what you want to talk about? And I'm not putting God on no time stamp in this process. So that video kind of long, but you take your time and you listen to all the prophetic stuff that being spoken, aside from all the other little stuff, because that's how God come to me. You're going to see all this stuff starting to come to pass. That video going to be reposted too. But that video was playing nonstop in this dream. I could not cut the video off. I could not cut my phone off. And, yeah, that really what was going on. I kept saying, how the video playing? And the phone did. Like, and my video was still playing. I'm like, look at this. You know, I said in the physical it's impossible, but in the spiritual, everything is possible. That's how. So in the spiritual, what's not even possible in the physical is what's going on with my video that would not cut off. Like, this video, it wasn't nothing I do to cut that video off. And it was loud. So that's why I had drink today. I'm kind of drained out too. Because I'm trying to finish my herb. So, y'all, I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. But when you let a person leave out your life and you are not full of the Spirit of God and you let these people back into your life is going to be 7 times worse than it was before. At least 7 times worse than it was before for you just letting these people into your life. These people seeking rest, seeking peace that they can't find in the world. So they come back to you because they got a distressing spirit on them, like Saul and David. So they come back to you because you got peace on you, but you ain't fully filled yourself, filled your spirit. So these demons, these spirits, they coming and they looking for a home. They need a home. They looking for a body. They tired of roaming the street, roaming around. Can't find no rest. They need a permanent residence. And they see your body as a home in this process. And so that's why it's very dangerous when you with people and you break up and you get back with them. And they might be abusive, but you're going to see the abuse build up as you get with them. And at a certain point, you might even, the angel of death might even be at the end of that whole relationship. The angel of death probably already been called in to that relationship as one of the spirits. So you in an abusive relationship, it get worse and worse and worse, and then finally, boom, somebody unalive. But there was part of the spirit that was attached to the 7 that came back. So you break up with this person, you get back with them, you break up, you get back with them. You notice this person is not getting no better, but getting worse and worse and worse. What you think the end result gonna be? And they got 7 more spirits more wicked than itself. It might end at death. That relationship might end up ending at death. So you just be careful when you cut people off and you open their door back up. Because you opening the door up to all their spirits too. All their demons too. All their problems too. All their trouble too. They become part of your trouble. Like, if there's something you want to deal with, just weigh it out. But in the meantime, it's very dangerous. God told me this. It's very dangerous when people cast spirits out of people. Like when they deliver people. But doing this deliverance, they don't fill themselves up because those same spirits that left will come back. That's why when you deal with addiction, people, they get delivered from something. But if they not filled with God and they home not properly filled spiritually, those same demons is coming back to that person who delivered from whatever drugs they would deliver from. So if you get delivered from anything, you're in a very vulnerable, very dangerous situation unless you fill with the spirit and your home is filled and it is not open for occupancy. Like, can't nobody just come and occupy your body, so to speak. So if you get delivered, you're going to have to go through the extra steps to make sure the same spirits don't come back to you, because they coming back. You're a familiar spirit. You what they know, they coming right back to you. But if your home is properly like filled and not empty in this process, they can't come back. They have no room to come back. They have nowhere to go if your body, your spirit is filled. But if you walk around, you just empty, that's very dangerous. You might well just have that one spirit in you till you decided that you were ready to get right, then walk around empty. And then you got 7 more spirits that gonna jump on you than before. So your deliverance gonna have to be stronger than before. Like the deliverance, that whole process, you're going to have to go through a lot, especially after you get delivered and you empty. Because you got to get filled before that spirit decides it's ready to come back. And you got to be ready to confront the spirit when it decides it want to come back. And you're going to have to let it know it can't come back. Because it's coming back. Automatic, it's coming back. Those spirits that left America, they coming back. We already let them in. They already let them in. And now they try to push their weight around. That's what demons do. They push their weight. They try to put their weight around out here. So y'all, I'm finna let y'all go. Y'all enjoy y'all day. But when you get delivered from anything, you're going to have to go through the process of filling your home. Not just making sure it's in order. Not just making sure it's clean and empty. You got to fill that home. Because that home, something trying to take over that home at a certain point if it's empty. But if you got something already residing in your home, it can't stay there if something is already there. So you have to seek God to fill your home once you get delivered from anything, or you're going to end up 7 times worse than you were before. So God was telling me about that. He said people been doing deliverance all wrong. This is what God was telling me. So I'm going to let y'all go. I'm going to let people do what they've been doing. Like I said, God come to me directly. And God said with that deliverance, he said, people been doing it wrong, and it's dangerous because if you deliver somebody from something, but you don't get them the tools to fill their home up before their spirit return with 7 more spirits, that person condition gonna be worse than it was before. It's gonna be worse than it was before. So it's very dangerous dealing with it, especially if you're not trying to get them the tools to change their whole life around to the point where they can't get caught back up in the same thing and be stuck 7 times worse than they were before. Yeah. So God, he been calling me about that. I'm talking to y'all later. Enjoy y'all day. So y'all remember when I was saying God is taking me to Exodus, when I was talking about the unclean spirits and they turn back 7 times more wicked, and I kept saying God take me to Exodus. Okay, he finally filled me in. That's why I be talking, y'all, because I had to get a download. So he took me to Exodus 3. And so right here is when, when God first called Moses to lead the people. And I'm finna read this because this goes with what I was just saying with the 7 unclean spirits. And then our nation as a whole. It said, "Go and gather the elders of Israel together and say to them, the Lord God of your fathers, the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and Jacob, appeared to me, saying, I have surely visited you and seen what is done to you in Egypt. And I have said, I will bring you up out of your affliction of Egypt to the land of the Canaanites, and the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Jebusites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, a land flowing with milk and honey. Then they will heed your voice, and you shall come, you and the elders of Israel, to the king of Egypt, and you shall say to him, the Lord God of the Hebrews has met with us. And now please let us go 3 days journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God." So when God said he was going to deliver the people from, when God said he was going to send Moses to deliver the people, they supposed to go to the king, and their whole reasoning of being let go was to worship the Lord their God. That was the whole reason of them even being released from their oppression, was to worship the Lord their God. The reason why God created this Christian nation for us is for us to worship him. But instead, we have done everything but worship God on our nation. Like this, he said, I'm going to give you a land flowing with milk and honey. And he said, all I want you to do is let them know that you just going to worship your God. And so God decided to free the people based on the basis of them worshiping him. Free a whole people that been enslaved, and said, okay, y'all, let them know that y'all got to worship y'all God. So this was Moses telling the king. So it go back to my earlier when I was speaking on this spirit, and how it's an unclean spirit and it's empty. Because you have to fill it up with God. You have to worship God. You have to do things for God in this process. Because if not, you're going to be empty. You're going to be swept. You're going to be open for attack. You actually going to be real vulnerable. Like, that's not a bad... Like, you better off being consumed with something than walking around empty with nothing. Because, shoot, legion might jump on you. You might be dealing with a legion at that point. But that's what he was saying. He was saying that when he created, like, us in America, he gave us this for us to worship him. And through laws and through other stuff, we have drifted away from God. So it opened us up for attack. It opened us up to be attacked because we didn't follow our part of the contract of worshiping God in this process. So it just opened us up. You know, we start bringing in other gods, and, you know, we start doing all this other stuff on the land that he gave us, where we supposed to be worshiping God. Because if you know, America is built on Christian foundation. Say what you want, but that's what it's built on. So when I read about the unclean spirit, and I think of the nations, and I think of Moses, and how God sent Moses to a land flowing with milk and honey, but the objective of this freedom was for them to worship the Lord their God. Because right here he said, and you should say to him, the Lord God of the Hebrews has met with us. And now please let us go 3 day journey into the wilderness, that we may sacrifice to the Lord our God. That was their whole thing. They probably been worshiping God. They went through all that freedom, being delivered, so that they could worship the Lord their God. So that's why I said, when you read the New Testament, you read about, you know, your house being swept and clean and empty, but you ain't put God nowhere in that house. These demons coming to take over. They're going to be 7 times more wicked than before. So if you thought your life was hard before, you really going to have a hard time after. Like, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. So that's what it's in relation to. And also when I was speaking on the bodies, remember I kept speaking on demons and bodies. Demons need a legality to operate in this realm. You have to have a body to operate in this realm. So not only are they obsessed with bodies because of what they came from with when they was living before God created them and disembodied them, They also want legal access into our world, into our realm, and they need a body for legal access. So that's the reason why they are so obsessed with bodies. They got more than one reason to be obsessed. They want legality. Come when you deal with Satan, it's legality. So in order to have legal rights and make legal decisions in this realm, you're going to need a body to do that. And just be able to operate in this realm, you just need a body. Like, that's just how God created it. And then also, they just had this obsession with bodies. They just got this obsession with it. So, those are two things God wanted me to just kind of zoom in on, focus on, dealing with this. That he delivered them. But his whole purpose of delivering them was for them to sacrifice to the Lord their God. They probably been sacrificing. They probably been worshiping God. They probably been giving God praise. They probably been giving God glory. That's what they supposed to been doing. They did not do this. They done built the golden calf and everything else in this process. But the whole purpose of them was to worship God. God gave us America. This supposed to be a Christian foundation. We done let everything in here. We let everything become a part of this. God didn't create America for that. We was separate from all that. We was separate from all of what was going on over there. And now they brought all that into this country. And it altered it to the point where it's not a Christian nation no more. And all the struggles and all the stuff they got going on over there, they trying to plant and dominate and conquer and make that what America is finna be over here. So that's what I see going on that type level. So y'all, I'm gonna let y'all go. But I just pointed that out to y'all because God just showed me the connection. Because he kept talking about Exodus. And I was like, dang, y'all, because as y'all talking to me, God is talking to me. So I be taking in so much all at once. I'm trying to balance it out. Sometimes it's clear. Sometimes it depends on how I'm feeling. I told you I'm half asleep. So I'm like, okay, God taking me to Exodus. I'm reading the New Testament, Matthew. I'm like, but God got me in Exodus right now. He got me in Exodus because when Moses and Moses supposed to deliver the people, he went to the king and said, look, free my people because they need to worship God. They need to worship their God. So free them. That was his whole reason of going to the king, telling him to free the people. They supposed to worship God. They supposed to make sacrifice to the Lord their God. That's what they supposed to be doing. So that was it. It was that simple. So when you get free from something, when you get free from somebody, no matter what you got going on, even if it's like some type of addiction or something, you have to fill yourself with God, with the light. And once darkness has no place with light. So if you fill yourself with light, with the word, with God, darkness can't dwell there. It's impossible for darkness to dwell there once the light has entered you. And you living and you align yourself up with it. But if you in darkness and you just clean and swept and it just look good on the outside, that spirit come back 7 times worse. They just waiting on the opportunity. And that's where you get the relapsing and stuff that come in. With people dealing with addiction and stuff relapsing. Because they didn't go through the full deliverance. They didn't go through that. And so God is just taking me to, people don't want to go through all the steps that's required. Because it requires more than that spirit being pulled out of you. Because once that spirit is pulled out of you, you are empty. So you got to fill yourself up before that spirit come back, because it's going to come back. So people, stuff like that, they popping back up. They trying to figure out a way to get back in. So when I did that video of my hair where I was braiding and I played Nicki Minaj, which I normally don't play secular, but I played her song because that's what it is. Like, I'm just a memory at this point for anybody that had crossed me. Like, I'm just a memory. Cause it's no way. That song for somebody who feel like they finna pop back up some kind of way. Pop back up, try to figure out a door to open. Figure out a way to open through, find a little crack to step into. That's what people trying to do. So that song is relevant for whatever these people thinking. To feel like they finna come back this way. Like in Matthew. We going back to where we came from. We going back. No. You ain't coming back. You ain't come back this way. You gotta find somewhere else to go. All is forgiven though. I don't have no hate, no anger, no nothing toward nobody. Like it's nothing there. Like it's just empty. It's just nothing. Like I don't feel no kind of way. All that, anything you did wrong, anything happened to me in my life, all is forgiven. But one thing you cannot do is pop back up. That one thing you cannot do. So when I play that Nicki Minaj, God said it's for somebody. So I don't know who needs to hear it, but that's what it is right there. Whatever she talking about, that's what it is. And it's for somebody. God says it's for somebody. So that for somebody. Somebody gonna hear it and know what it is and be like, oh, okay. Cause ain't no coming back. Ain't no popping back up. Ain't no, ooh, time to pass. No, ain't none of that. I ain't finna take on nobody and they demons, and I gotta deal with my own demons in my own life and gotta deal with all the stuff God already got set up for me. And then you wanna pop back up like you finna dump that on me, make your life easier, make your life 10 times easier while my life get 10 times harder. Keep all that over there. It ain't no reason to even think of looking back this way. But in Matthew, they was like, let us go back. Let us go back. Don't come back this way. Yeah. Because God talking to me. God is talking to me. And it's going to resonate with somebody.